North node in the 8th house, south node in the 2nd house. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down north node in the 8th house, south node in the 2nd house. When you have north node in the 8th, you have south node in the 2nd. I want to talk about the biggest takeaways and how to master this placement. All right. So let's start. When you have this placement, you're here to direct your life path more towards all things involving other people's values and resources versus your own values and resources. Okay, so the 8th house has to do with all things involving other people's values and resources. The north node has to do with your life path. So you're here to direct your life path towards all things involving other people's resources and values versus your own resources and values, the 2nd house. And I'm going to explain more on that later, and it's going to make sense. You have to find balance between using your own resources and money to build wealth and using other people's resources and money to build wealth. Okay, so this axis represents the two types of ways you can build wealth. You can either build wealth getting involved with other people's values, their money, their resources, or like financial institutions, or you can get ahead using your own money, values, and resources. So, okay, so the 2nd house is your own resources and wealth and money, and the 8th house is other people's wealth and resources. So that's the axis, just to further break it down so you understand. You feel like getting involved with other people's resources, money, values, and baggage aligns you with your path of highest growth. North node again is the path of highest growth. The 8th house is other people's resources, money, values, and baggage. Okay, you feel like getting all involved in that, other people's resources, money, values, and baggage aligns you with your path of highest growth. Now, this can manifest in many different ways, but this is what you feel like aligns you with growth. You naturally lean towards avoiding complex financial and emotional involvement with others. Okay, the 8th house has to do with complex financial and emotional involvement with others, whereas the 2nd house is your own financial and emotional life and complex financial and emotional involvement, but it doesn't involve other people. Okay, so south node tells you the type of things that you lean away from. So you naturally lean away from getting involved with complex financial and emotional involvement with others, and you really just want to focus on your own financial and emotional affairs, okay? You may feel like it's more of a challenge to leverage debt and resources, the 8th house, and get into complex financial and emotional involvement with others. Okay, so you feel like this is more of a challenge. Leveraging debt and resources and getting into complex financial and emotional involvement with others, you feel like that's a challenge and it's something you avoid. It's the path that you try to not take. All right, so that's pretty much what I was talking about before, is you naturally lean towards avoiding these matters. You just want to focus on yourself and your own finances, your own emotional world, and so on and so forth, and your own values, not the values that has to do with other people. You try to avoid that. You feel like getting involved with others and other institutions is more of a challenge. It's easier for you to just focus on your own values, the 2nd house, versus the values of others and sex and intimacy. Okay, so when the south node tells you what feels easier. Okay, so you feel like it's easier to just focus on your own values versus the values of others and sex and intimacy and everything that comes with it. This is similar to having north node in Scorpio, south node in Taurus, because Scorpio rules the 8th house, Taurus rules the 2nd house. Okay, so I did a full video breaking that down in detail. You want to check that out. The link for that will be in the description box. This is similar to having north node in Scorpio, south node in Taurus. Make sure you study this placement as well if you have north node in the 8th, south node in the 2nd. Types of astrological services I provide. A lot of my subscribers don't know the type of services that I provide, so I wanted to talk about it. I do natal chart readings, I do career readings, I do transit readings, and synastry readings. The contact information is astrologyztv@gmail.com or the AZTV on IG. The link for that as well will be in the description box. And by the way, if you do a natal chart reading with me and you refer someone else because you like the reading, I'll do a free transit reading for you. All right. Thank you for taking the time out to watch my video. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Take care.